In this first of two parts on building strength and stamina, we're going to introduce you to three chords and a progression to get you started. Building strength and stamina is important because whether you're practicing, rehearsing with a band, or playing gigs, you need to be able to play for longer than 10 or 15 minutes before your fretting hand begins to grow tired and fatigued, and then you have to stop for a couple of minutes. And when you're gigging, we're talking from 45 minutes to 2 hours, maybe more, of playing time without stopping, right? 45 minutes is a typical club set, and an hour and a half to 2 hours is a typical headliner concert show. Okay? So you need this stuff so that you can play and play with confidence from beginning to end, especially in performance, and have the end of your performance be as good or better than the beginning of your performance. That's the whole idea, right? Leave them wanting more. All right, let's just dive right in and we'll get started and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. All right, right off the bat, you're seeing we have a G7 chord. Now, if you're unfamiliar with these, you see the fingering above the diagram, and if you played a full bar chord, here's a G, full bar, all a 7 chord is you just lift your little finger off, and now the 4th string is being played by your first finger right there. That note right there. And that's the flat 7 tone of the G7. Okay? Now, a C7 is basically a C, like that, if you played that before. Now you just stand your 3rd finger up, leave your 1st finger on that 5th string at the 3rd fret, stand your 3rd finger up on the 4th string at the 5th fret, and bring your little finger in here on the 2nd string at the 5th fret, okay? And that 3rd string, whoops, right here, is being played by your 1st finger. So right there, that's the flat 7 tone of the C7. Now your 1st finger is butted against the low E, so it doesn't sound, okay? Now the 3rd chord is a D7, so it's just basically this chord shape moved up 2 frets to D. You're still butted against the 6th string, and now that 3rd string note is played at the 5th fret, and that's your flat 7 tone for the D7. Okay? Now, if you know these chords, just go ahead and let the video roll on into the next bit. If you don't know these chords, pause the video, get comfortable with them, get familiar with them a little bit so that you can keep going, all right? And this will take you some time, and this is, you know, for you who don't know these chords very well, this is a very good exercise to help you also learn to build strength and stamina, all right? So lots of value whether you know how to play these chords or just learning them. So pause the video if you need to go over these chords and get them comfortable. Move around with it. Just move it here, 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 and back to here, right? Okay? Then when you're ready to continue, restart the video and we'll keep going. All right, you've got the 3 chords. Now let's put them to a progression, shall we? So here's the progression you're going to work on. Now, whenever learning something new, always do what's called a walkthrough. And a walkthrough basically is, what am I being asked to play? When it's rhythm, you're talking about chords. So what are the chords I'm being asked to play? So you walk through them. I got a G7 here at the beginning. Okay, that goes for 4 measures. And then there's a C7. That goes for 2 measures. Then back to a G7. That goes for 2 measures as well. And then you got a D7 for 2 measures. And then back to the G7 for 2 measures. Okay, that's called a walkthrough. Very straightforward stuff, right? So go ahead, pause the video, do the walkthrough, and just kind of get a sense of what the motion is between the chords. How are you going to move smooth and flowing between them, right? So just practice this too. What I'm doing here as I've been talking. G to C to G to D, and then back to G. Okay? So then when you're ready to continue, restart the video and we'll keep going. All right. Now, I'm going to play through this for you one time, let you see how it's going to sound. But before I do that, I want to talk about the strum we're going to use. This is a straight 4 strum, meaning you're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, playing the beat strokes only. No fancy stuff here. So here is the strum pattern I want you to use. A simple comp. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, what am I doing? I'm playing 1 and 2, and then I'm relaxing the pressure, and then immediately reapplying it for 3 and 4, relaxing it after 4, and then reapplying it for 1. So here's how you do it. You want to strum all 6 strings for each strum. 1, 2, then relax and press 3, 4. So it would go like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, relax, press, 3, 4, relax, press, 1, 2, relax, press, 3, 4, and so forth. And you'll notice I'm not chopping off beats 2 and 4. And this is what I mean by chopping off. 1, 2. You're not even through strumming before you've relaxed pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can hear how that sounds different. Even holding it off a little short. 1, 2. If you relax your fingers before you're done strumming all 6 strings, you have relaxed too soon. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4. This gives every beat its full value. Okay? So pause the video, practice that strum pattern, that comp pattern a little bit. All right? Whether you're staying on one chord or moving to the next chord, it doesn't change. Okay? Then when you're ready to continue, restart the video and I'll play through this for you. Okay, let me play through this for you and give you a sense. Here's what you're trying to do. Now, listen for that note, and that note, and you'll hear that I have them sounding all the way through the progression. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. And then you just keep going. All right? So, you want to play this with a metronome, and you want to do it at about 70 beats a minute. Okay? No, that's not fast. And that's the point. Part of strength and stamina is we go a little slower so that we actually work the muscles and get them operating the way they should. Now, technically, this is an isometric exercise. Tension, release. All right? Now, you're going to feel it here in this muscle here, and in this muscle here, and maybe a little bit in these muscles here that operate these three fingers. Okay? And that's the point. This will start to ache. This will start to ache. This maybe a little bit. And that's the idea. Your muscles are telling you, oh my, this is not comfortable at all. And that is giving you feedback. Wow, these muscles do not have any endurance, any stamina at all, which is what these lessons, these exercises are designed to do, to help you have a regimen to get stamina and endurance and strength, right? Okay, so the object here is to play through this 3 times in a row without stopping at 70 beats a minute. Now, if you get through it even once before your hand decides, I'm done, that's okay. That's good. If you don't get through it even once, that's okay too. This isn't about getting through it right off the bat. It's about learning to build strength and stamina so that you can get through it. Remember, I'm just asking you to play through this progression 3 times. If you were playing a song using this progression, it's going to go 16 or more times through the progression, particularly if there's a guitar, keyboard, and or sax solo. And if 2 instruments take a solo, this could go up to 24 times through the progression, okay? Just depends on how many verses there are and how many times there's soloing going on throughout the song. And that's just one song, okay? So you definitely want to take your time here. Okay, I want to show you one more graphic, okay? And let me grab that real quick. Here we are back to the chords again. Now you'll notice the 3 circles over the 4th string at the 3rd fret, the 3rd string at the 3rd fret, and the 3rd string at the 5th fret. Those are the flat 7 tones of the G7, C7, and D7. The cool thing is they are also going to act as indicators, all right? At first, maybe you'll hear them for a moment, and then they'll disappear. But keep playing, because you're still building strength and stamina to hold the chord shapes, okay? Then as you proceed and are able to get through this 1, 2, even 3 times, that 7 tone, that pesky flat 7 tone, isn't necessarily going to be there through all 3 passes. And that is precisely the point here. Even though you get through all 3 passes of the progression, it doesn't mean the 7 tone, the flat 7 tone, is going to be there. That's the deeper part of this. While you'll get through the progressions and you'll build strength in your muscles, you still have to get that flat 7 note to sound out all the way through. So that's the deeper thing, as I said, of going through these exercises, to learn to get that flat 7 tone sounding out all the time, okay? When that happens, then you'll know you're making real progress. But even just getting through the progression 3 times, even if the flat 7 isn't there, that's still real progress in itself, because you're building your strength and your stamina at the very least. The flat 7 tone is just the further indicator that you're doing even better, that any chord you want to play, all the notes you want to be there will be there. And that's the object of these exercises, to make sure that no matter what chord you play, every note is going to happen, because you now know how to make them happen by practice, of course, and then endurance through strength and stamina building practice. All right? Okay, there you go. Now, one last thing. Don't rush to lesson number 2 in this series, part 2. Stay here with this progression for about a week. get yourself building up some strength and your ability to play through this up to the 3 times, even more if you wish. All right. The object is build some strength before you move on to the second half of this series. You'll be glad you did, because there's some really cool stuff coming up in the next lesson. All right. And we want you to be able to play it. So stay here for a week or so before moving into part 2. All right. Okay. That'll do for this one. We'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner, or below the video, there's the big red subscribe button, and next to it's a gray notification bell. Press that, and you'll be notified when we have new content up here at Outsmart Your Guitar. Down below, also in the description area, you'll see a link where you can go and download the written material for this lesson as well. And below that, you'll see another link that will take you over to Outsmart Your Guitar on Patreon. Go on over, check that out. There's content there that's not available here. And subscribe at one of the 2 levels and become a patron. All right? Remember, here at Outsmart Your Guitar, we are dedicated to helping you learn, play, and grow to become the guitar player you desire to be, to play the music you want to play, even write your own music. All right? Thanks for your time. See you soon.